Hi, 8th grade. I'm here to guide you through Amplify Lesson 1.4, which is investigating changes in trait distribution. So in the previous lesson, it was asking you to just start playing around with natural selection, but now we're actually going to see natural selection at work. We're actually going to run a simulation. So start with the warm-up. Okay. Let's see here. The histograms below show the distribution of fur level traits in a population at two different points in time. Review the two histograms and answer the questions below. So we see population A at generation 1 and population A at generation 50. So time has passed, but let's see. First question. Do the two histograms show the same amount of variation in the population at both generations? Well, let's see. There are 7 types of australopes in the first graph, and there's only 4 types of australopes in the second graph. Do the two histograms show the same distribution of traits at both generations? Does it look like they have the same distribution of traits? Let's move forward. Okay, now the fun part, now the simulation. So we're actually going to run a simulation this time. When you open it, you click here. And let's just jump back and forth. It says, Natural Selection Simulation, open the mode Fur and Temperature A. Let's do that. Fur and Temperature A. Change the temperature of the environment to cold by moving the temperature slider. Okay. It's about to get really cold in here. Press run and observe the population for at least 50 generations. This is going to take some time. So here's when I can watch. We have no predators here. We only have producers and primary consumers. And right now we're on generation 3, so this is going to take some time. I believe that when they die, they're going to shiver and fall over. Let's see. Oh, they're mating. New australope. Let's speed it up. Might see some australope deaths in here. Okay, when you're done, you're going to click Analyze. And you're going to have some histograms. Please upload your histogram to Amplify. Let's see, we're only on generation 16 here. And then there's 2 questions here after you upload. Why do you think the distribution of fur traits changed over time? And which trait became more common over time? So if it's getting colder, you can probably predict how the fur is going to change over many generations. We're still only on generation 20 here. Let's see what's in part 2. Okay, so we're just going to let that run. So I won't give away the answer here. Okay, in part 2, this is just a concept that we've gone over a little bit in class. An environment is everything living and non-living that surrounds an organism. So the environment in our simulation is like that little island that's floating. An adaptive trait is a trait that makes it more likely that an individual will survive. A non-adaptive trait is a trait that makes it less likely that an individual will survive. And this is basically the same thing as an adaptation that we talked about in class. the adaptations of the paper bird, the adaptations of the animal that you printed out. Nothing to answer here, but let's keep moving. Let's see how our simulation is doing. Still going. Okay. For part 3, students are introduced to a modeling tool. And you can actually find this in the lesson brief if you want to. Right here under modeling tool. But basically, it's asking you using the modeling tool student sheet to show your prediction about how the distribution of traits in population B will change. So in population, we start out with this distribution here, and after 50 generations, what do you think is going to happen to the fur? Basically, instead of printing out this piece of paper, I want you to make a prediction in your head. If I change the environment to cold, how will this distribution change? Unfortunately, we don't have the physical blocks that we had in school, but in your head, you can make a prediction about how this distribution would change. And then in part 4, you're actually going to test that under the mode fur and temperature B. Oh, I think it paused when I was not on the screen. Anyway, so this is not done, but you can see the blue is the new generation, the blue is the new distribution, and the white is the original distribution. So already the fur is changing, even though I didn't do all 50 generations. But I'm going to now go to fur and temperature B, which is what I'm testing here. Open the natural selection simulation, open fur temperature B, change the temperature to cold. The difference here is instead of starting with a bigger distribution, we're actually only starting with australopes that have the lowest 2 levels of fur. And it's cold. So if I run that, we're going to see some dead australopes. So it wants you to upload a screenshot of that. Zoom into the environment and observe several individuals with different traits. 50 generations again, so this is going to take some time. And did population B change the way you predicted it would change? You don't have to do the homework here. The homework is about adaptations of different animals, but we kind of did that in class already. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. And stay safe out there, guys.